One of the best ways to get the most accurate responses with GitHub Copilot is to provide as much context as possible. In this GitHub Skills exercise, we'll customize our GitHub Copilot experience with custom instructions, prompts, and chat modes. We will step through these 3 context techniques to make Copilot more effective for our specific use cases. In this skills exercise, we'll go over repository custom instructions with project context, create targeted custom instructions for specific file types, build reusable prompt templates for command tasks, and configure custom chat modes for specialized workflows. Now let's get into the exercise. We'll talk about who this is for, what you'll learn, what you'll build, some prerequisites, and how long, which is about 30 minutes to complete. Now I'll name my repository and create it in my handle. As you can see at the top, it's in my handle. Now it looks the same, but as we refresh and the action runs in the background, we'll start the issue that will lead us through different steps and activities to complete. This first activity is to set up a GitHub Copilot's code space, which has our full development environment for this exercise. You can always click back to your exercise instructions to keep following through. As you can see, we're setting up GitHub Copilot repository instructions with copilot-instructions.md, which is in the .github folder. So I'll create that file now, and I'll paste the instructions that are offered up to us. It'll tell us about the project structure and guidelines. Then I'll expand the folder so you can see exactly what the contents are. And now we're ready to copy and paste the first prompt to GitHub Copilot to briefly explain what this project's about. And as you can see, it gave a nice little summary of what this project is about. And now we've created our instructions and we're free to check this into the main branch. We'll use Copilot to create a commit message for us and push. Once that's done, we'll wait for confirmation that we've completed this successfully from Mona. The action running in the background should tell us that we passed. In step 2, we'll use targeted instructions for all of our assignments to make sure they're consistent. We'll create a .github/instructions assignments.instructions.md file. So as you can see here, I'm creating the instructions directory and adding the assignments.instructions.md file. And then I'll copy and paste the instructions right into that file. As you can see at the top, it says apply to, that it applies to all the files in the assignments directory. Let's test this out now that they've been created. So with this prompt, I'll say, make sure that my assignment file is up to date. And I've opened the README and added it to the context. At that point, GitHub Copilot will use our instructions to make changes accordingly to conform to our template for creating assignments. Let's see what the response comes back from Copilot. One thing to note is you can see that it is using the instructions when going through and creating the response. And just like that, it's created an update for us for our README to be consistent. And now we can then stage these files, create a commit message, and then push. We can use Copilot to create this commit message. Now we can see that Mona is working in the background, and we'll see if we've succeeded, and we have. In step 3, we'll learn how to build reusable prompts. There's some good documentation here about prompt files in the VS Code website. We'll create a new prompt file called newassignments.prompt.md. This will live in the .github/prompts directory. This prompt will allow someone to create a new assignment, gather assignment information, create assignment structure, and update our website configuration so we can add the new assignment to our catalog. There are several examples here that you can prompt. I'm going to try the first one that's at the top, which is the building REST APIs with a fast API framework. So just by doing the / command, I can take advantage of that prompt, which will be the same name as the file at the beginning part. and I will direct it to create this title of a new assignment. It will then go forth, create the directory structure, update the README with details on that assignment, and lastly, update our web configuration so we can add it to the catalog with all our other assignments. As you can see, Copilot is making these changes and updating our configuration to add it to the catalog. So we've added a new prompt file, which will allow others to leverage. We can stage these changes and push them up. And now we'll wait to see Mona come back and if we've done it successfully. So the action's running in the background to confirm, and we have. In step 4, we'll learn how to create custom chat modes. There's some good documentation on custom chat modes and general Copilot customization. We'll create an assignments-brainstorming.chatmode.md file in the .github/chatmodes directory. This chat mode will be used for brainstorming future assignments. We'll have a response style, which will have a quick scan of existing assignments, an idea burst of some suggestions, as well as a next question, which could be what I need to know to help more. We'll also have some rules as part of this chat mode. To keep responses short, always end with a specific question, focus on concepts, not details, never write assignment specs, and base ideas on existing curriculum gaps. And now I can try these different prompts and ask it different questions for assignment topics. So here we want to know a good follow-up assignment for data analysis. Once we're happy with our chat mode, we can then stage it, commit it with a commit message from Copilot, and push it up to our main branch. Once it's complete, we should be successful and Mona will respond accordingly. We're successful, and now we can go over a nice review of what we've learned in this Customize Your Copilot Experience GitHub Skills exercise. Again, these were the 4 points that we wanted to focus on when we started this GitHub Skills exercise.